Thank you for watching this webinar as a part of TANO's Nonprofit IT Month. This is the first of a 4-part series on the virtual office and the advantages it brings nonprofit organizations. This week we'll talk about the cloud, cornerstone of the virtual office. The cloud has been something of a buzzword in the past couple of years and has really gotten a lot of attention in 2016. We're going to start by asking some really dumb questions. We won't address all of them today, but by the end of this series, you'll see why I asked them. Why do you have a server? Why do you have any desktop or laptop computers? Why do you have employees working on anything other than your organization's cause? Why do you have an office? Right now, you're probably thinking that I'm an idiot, because those really are the dumbest questions you've ever heard. But before you close this session down, bear with me for a little bit. Consider this. 20 years ago, if someone told you that major corporations were considering building offices with no landline jacks, you would have laughed at them. That's idiotic. You need landlines. But it's happening today. We live in a time when technology is changing at an unprecedented rate. Technologies that were barely only imaginable 30 years ago have been outdated for a decade now. In this time of technology craziness, we have to be willing to question the status quo. So that's what we'll do now. We'll look at the status quo and how we got here. Long, long ago, mainframes ruled the world. They were enormous, expensive behemoths and took an entire team to maintain. Worker bees used dumb terminals that could only work through the mainframe, and people were not happy. So the worker bees demanded to keep their own data. They wanted to be free, unchained from the mainframe. The villagers stormed the gates, and the mainframe idea was mostly scrapped. This brought about the PC. Data was free, and users could keep it to themselves. No more dusty old mainframes. Just enormous, expensive servers. The result of this change? Chaos. Sheer and utter mayhem. Without a central storage location, data was easily lost and corrupted. PCs introduced viruses, worms, and malware to the office. The inexpensive yet complex PC was vulnerable to wear and tear, and most users didn't know how to properly care for them. Then a word started being tossed around a lot. Cloud. People weren't always sure they knew what it meant, but it sounded nice. A way to store your data in a central location that could only be accessed through remote computers. If you're thinking this sounds a lot like the mainframe setup, you're right. It turns out that the wrong thing was freed. We didn't need liberated data. We needed liberated workers who could use technology to get their data wherever they went, but their data could still be protected by elite nerds. In 1999, Salesforce introduced the first really successful cloud service. It's a little shocking. Cloud computing is that old, but it feels a lot newer, doesn't it? Amazon quickly followed Salesforce and released their own cloud products. Everybody was pretty happy with them. But then came the rushed products. Microsoft, Google, and Apple each released their own cloud platforms in the mid-2000s. And they sucked generally. People could see their potential, but they put a bad flavor in a lot of mouths. So now we have a myth about the cloud. It isn't secure. It's not safe, people say. The best example of this is in the movie Sex Tape. Basically, the premise of the film is that once something goes into the cloud, you've totally lost control of it. It was a poorly made display of the world's unease about the cloud. But here's the fact. The cloud is safe. The cloud is like a bank that you keep your data in. You can get to it when you want, but even though many people have access to the bank, only you can access your money. A bank is more secure than keeping your money in your mattress. The cloud is the same way. Only you can get to your data, and your data is much safer. So what does all of this mean for you? Versatility. Your staff can work from anywhere at any time, so long as they can access their data. You can back up your files locally too, so that even if your internet goes down, you can still get to your data. No need for a server. You can avoid the massive cost of a server and its assorted software needs by storing your data in the cloud and hosting your website through another organization. Having a server can be a major financial drain, So removing this helps your bottom line. A lot. And really, once you remove the server, you don't need an office to work anymore. This is a really radical concept in a lot of ways, but by using the cloud, you and your staff can work from anywhere. If you really need office space, we're actually going to explore your options in another video this month. But the cloud gives you flexibility in ways that were nearly unthinkable until recently. Thanks for listening. Next video, we'll be discussing the rise of mobile technology and how you and your organization can benefit. I'm Dallas Emerson with the IT Guys, and this has been a part of TANO's nonprofit IT Month.